Now, in our entrepreneur segment, we bring you a story of an entrepreneur we spoke to years back. Now, she was at a certain stage then. Today, she's at another level. Now, what we're picking from this story, or what we want you to pick from this story, is how she has managed to stay in the game, expand, and do better.
I smoke fish, season it, make it ready for eating. We also fry mukene and also sun dry and also make it in powder form. I'm so proud of this job because some people think it's a job for the dirty people, for the poor, for the needy, for those without capital, for the people who are smelling fish. But for me, I've done it in a better way, in a most satisfactory way that I've been certified by UNBS, but also I've been able to change my life. Previously, I used to move door to door, selling in a box to different people. But currently, because I've been certified by Uganda National Bureau of Standards, I am able to get market, ready market. For example, I'm able to supply different supermarkets, Friend, Shopwise, Capital Shoppers, Quality, taking this product to the people, to the customer for easy accessibility. But also, it is also comfortable for me because I only deliver and then wait for my payment. For the fish, you realize that it might be a lot, but it's my money there because each piece is 40,000 and all of them, at least 80% of those pieces are on order, meaning they're going to be delivered. So there's no bad job. There is no bad job as long as you put your passion, you put quality to it, you put your everything, your determination, your passion, and looking at the end consumer who is going to eat this fish. How is it going to be like? Is it, imagine you're the one buying that fish. I make the customers very comfortable, and I've not advertised, but I get referrals, one client referring to the other, just like that. And I've been able to spread my wings everywhere. This is a job that does not require big space. You can still operate from your home. It does not need a lot of capital to start. You don't have to go and get loans here and there, your little saving. Because I started with 2,000, 10,000, moved to 100,000. Today I'm in 100 million. So it is process by process. It is taking one step to another. And one thing is for sure, is to dream big, but take baby steps. Make sure each day you're taking a step, taking feedback from people who challenge you, and you take it in good spirit and say, okay, what can I do different? Get started. Where is the source? Where are you going to be getting your fish from? Are you getting it from Chiindi, Katosi, Gaba, Mulungu? Where are you getting it from? 2, 3, look for your movement permits. There are permits that to show the source of this fish. Remember, we look at safety of our final consumer. Get your movement permit from that particular landing site and go. Now, when you reach, ensure that that fish, first of all, you're using minimal time to put it on fire. You don't keep it in a freezer for a long time, but let it move in the best comfortable way possible, but for less hours. Put it in for example, in ice cubes, in a cooler. If you have a van that has a cooler, that is the best. Let it move comfortable. By the time you reach, it has not gone bad. Remember, we deliberately smoke, we deliberately process this mukene because it has not gone bad. But because it is still fresh, we just want that customer to eat it when it is still fresh, but in a smoked way, in the smoked form. And so when you reach, season it, use standard spices. For example, onions, garlic. Don't use spices that will limit people because you're looking for customers. Don't use things that are complicated. For example, ginger. Some people don't eat ginger. The most marketable fish, to me, in my experience, is silverfish, especially if you have done it well, if you've added value to it. Why? Because it's an area that is not tapped by everyone. So it's a virgin market. So I would recommend that. Grana, it's one of our fast moving brand, and you see that it is certified by UNBS. It's all over. How do you identify your market? First of all, go to the people who appreciate value addition. Not everyone is comfortable with value addition. Others don't even care about value. As long as this is fish, they will buy. But look out for people who will appreciate the value of what you're bringing. Those people will be able to appreciate it. I'll give an example. Identify networks of people that if I walked in here, these people will buy. If I take to this place, they will buy. Why? Because they are value, they are quality sensitive. I'm a Rotarian myself. When I go for my fellowships, I never leave my fish behind, and I never go back with that fish. I'll not be the same as that one who has gone to the local market in Katale and sit there, and you think that you've added a lot of value. People will buy. You're going to stay with your fish there.
Now, on Manan Markets, we are dedicated to teaching you how you can make that money. But most importantly, grow it, expand the money, but then also keep the money. Now, you cannot do that without proper record keeping. Take a look.
Many businesses actually are not keeping any records. Now, every business owner, those of you who are watching us, make sure that you keep a record. If you bought fuel, get a receipt for that fuel. If you got supplies from one of your suppliers, get a receipt for that. And sometimes, especially in cases where you are dealing with taxes like VAT, it's important that when you get a supplier, he also gives you an invoice which shows the part of VAT on those supplies that he has made, so that when you're also selling, you can be able to reconcile the same. It is critical to make sure that records are kept. So as an entrepreneur, it's not okay. And when business is starting, many times you feel like there are few transactions, you don't need records, but make sure that as the business grows, you start keeping records. Make sure the receipts are there, because that is the ammunition you use when you are going to the taxman to argue your case. You say, here are my receipts. These are the things which I bought. Here are the payment slips I made to my employees. These are the employees I paid. Here are the customers who gave me money. These customers were actually on credit. These ones were on cash. Those are very key things. In the absence of records, the power actually seemingly leans to the taxman to say it appears that this business is doing well. But ideally when there are records, the law allows you to say these are my records and they are my true records. And the truth is they should be genuine records so that you can be able to argue your case. And when you have these conversations, make sure you choose the right professionals. Sometimes a tax agent can come, and the truth is that, is he the right tax agent? Does he have the qualifications to do this? Is he registered in the systems of, say, URA as one of the people who can act as a tax agent? Those are key questions, and make sure that you ask the professional who you have employed to be able to support you in this.
This is a company that we started in lockdown with a group of 7 young girls. The fact that in lockdown very many schools were closed off, we didn't want these girls to go idle. So we came up with something. It was me and my business partner. As we started, it was really challenging because we had to train from scratch. We would recycle glass bottles. We used to move around streets looking for empty bottles from bars. The few bottles we collected, we began by training these 7 girls that we got. so that they are busy and they can begin up their small businesses, because none of us really knew how long the pandemic would go. So when we started with these young girls, we taught them, as we were also learning. We had never done any glass art before. I personally am a professional industrial artist and my business partner. So we were like, we needed something that is more artistic, that would not be boring, that would make everyone get involved and be interested. So we started with a few glass bottles, and we used to move around to look for business with them. By then we didn't have any machine, so we used to cut sand at the glasses. We used to do all that by hand. Everything was manual. It was not easy, but over time everyone fell in love with it. I'm an artist and I have another group of artists around. We invent these shapes and sizes. We ended up also beginning to make glass beads. We ended up going from cold glass, which is glass cutting, the normal drinking glasses, the bowls, the flower vases and all that, to the hot glass. That's pounding the glass to powder, melting it and coming up with different shapes of glass beads, glass jewelry. But our biggest clients right now are different hotels. Hotels give us orders. Some of them transport their bottles to our workshop, and then we work on their orders and we transport them back. So far, the biggest achievement we've achieved is we managed to purchase a sanding machine, so we don't do everything manually like before. It was more hectic and tiresome. Now, us, Glass Girls Uganda, have come up with this new idea. In other words, this glass we recycle is more trustworthy than the imported glass everyone trusts. But then the sensitization is still going on, because it's a challenge to us. Sometimes we go out there marketing and people are going to tell you, how do I trust that there are no small particles in it? Because I trust this glass better. So you have to sensitize them, you have to assure them. But then first and foremost, before we put a glass on the shelf, or before we put a glass on markets, we first test it. Each glass. Here as workers, we use our own glasses for our tea, our drinking. So we first test a glass before we put it out there. Now, our glasses here are very thick. They are made thick. The reason why they are more durable and more better is because their body is made for exportation. This idea of glass recycling, has helped us to conserve the environment.
Well, that's all we had for you on this week's edition of Man and Market. Thank you for being part of the show. Now, we still have a lot more of these stories on our digital channels, on our YouTube, our TikTok account, and other digital platforms, including the website. So pay us a visit. Let's have this conversation going, and then let's connect you to the people that are actually making actual money and making business work.